Hey guys, it's me. I haven't done anything in a really long time. I did a couple of videos in the beginning just kind of telling about life and my struggles with mental illness, but I feel like I want to get this back up and get this going again. I've had some people ask me like, well, when are you going to do a video? And honestly, I've just been really busy focusing on myself, focusing on my family, focusing on my future. I've just been really busy, and being a mom of four boys, that could be overwhelming, but I was kind of just really focusing on that. So, today I wanted to talk about success with mental illness because if we go back to my very first video, I was in a really bad place. And the success that I have now and what I'm going to achieve and accomplish. So my very first video was this time last year. Actually, it was a couple months. It was in December. So right now, going back to last year in October, I was a mess. I was suicidal. I was in a dark spot. I had the worst depression I've had in my entire life. And then I wasn't really willing to accept it. I was more okay in December and willing to fight for myself. But if we go back all the way to October of last year, I was a mess. And I've made it from last October to this October. And I really want to share how I was from October until how I am now. And only share about me because I want everyone else to feel like there's hope. Because a lot of times when we struggle with mental illness, people think I'm going to be like this my entire life. This is a chemical imbalance and nothing is going to change. When most people feel like that, and I was feeling like that at one point. I was so down. I was so depressed last October. But where I've come from last October to now is night and day difference. I really want to share with you guys of how things can change. So to get that started, there's four things that have helped me since last year. I will always stand by medicine because oftentimes we don't realize, having a mental disability is just the same as having a physical disability. I'm bipolar, and just because you can't see that doesn't mean it's no different than diabetes. Somebody who's diabetic needs insulin to regulate and to maintain their health, where I may need a specific prescription to fix the chemical imbalance that is in my brain. You can't see either one of those illnesses, but they're both just the same. They're both needed. They're both normal. There's nothing that you can do about having this mental illness. It's hereditary, and there is just no explanation to why. It doesn't choose certain people. It's just there. And that's oftentimes can make us feel hopeless, and I've been there. And so that is why I now will stick by. I try so hard not to miss my meds because I can tell that missing, a dose this night affects me next week. And I just see the pattern, and I've seen the pattern over the year and really realized how much different I am when I do miss a dose. So, that's the first thing. I will stand by, you need to be on meds. Let's get over the stigma of it being such a big deal, of it being unnecessary, something being invisible, you can ignore it, you can move on, you can, someone will put you in therapy, and yeah, therapy's awesome, but it's not going to fix that chemical imbalance. It's going to teach you some life lessons and some coping mechanisms, but it's not going to make it go away. So for me, the first thing and the very most important thing is meds. The second thing that I have started to do was I had a dog. I still have her. Her name's Allie. Unfortunately, we found out after we got her, she is deaf. So I have taken the time to pick out a dog. Guess I could have picked a little better, but she's amazing. Pick out a dog, and I am training her to be my service dog. Lately I've actually dealt with, do I really need her because of how successful I've been, how healthy I've been, how clear I've been thinking. But I've decided that, you know what, I'm going to have some bad days. I'm going to miss some dose of my medicine. I'm going to have really hard trials that I'm going to go through that are going to bring me down. And on those bad days, I want to make sure that I'm still functionable. I'm still able to be independent. And so for me, and maybe not for everybody, for my diagnosis, service dogs are amazing because they can remind you to do your meds. They can do deep pressure therapy. They can help you with paranoia. Paranoia, is that it? I'm not sure. They can help you with that kind of thing. They can be a companion. They can trigger you for your anxiety. A lot of cool benefits from a service dog. So I looked into that. I did my research for a really long time. Having a service dog that is already trained is not feasible for a lot of people. It wasn't for me. So I have done the training myself. We are going to put her into training very soon. And even though she's still in the puppy stage and she's still really hard and working on things, having her do a couple tasks for me and having her company has really helped me. So that's my second thing to say that has helped me. After that, I started doing therapy. And I know I said earlier, like, if you're just doing therapy, that's not going to go hand in hand. But really, I believe meds and therapy are amazing. They are a good combination. You really get the benefits. I didn't really know what I was going into. I just know I wanted to try everything. And I did. And actually, my anxiety has helped with that. I can be out in public and I may start to build up and feel that physical, my body taking over, just no control of my body, and my anxiety is racing. But then I remember some techniques I learned and how to apply those and ground myself, and it's really, really helped me. And it also helps just to be able to go and talk to someone who knows what it's like, who's dealt with this before. And it's really, I think, a key part to a disorder that is like mine, because anxiety is a huge part of bipolar. Most people go in to a psychiatrist seeking help because of their anxiety, and they come out being diagnosed bipolar. So it's really something that is uncontrollable, and therapy helps with that. It can help a lot of coping mechanisms and just what to do in this situation. So that's my third thing. And then my fourth thing is CBD oil. Now, some people may have an opinion about it. Some people may think of it still as marijuana. Some people just may not be educated. But first off, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Let me know. I can answer any questions about that now that I am actually selling it. But it's all aside from me selling it and, wanting to advocate it for my own benefit. But it has helped me I would like to say that 80% of my symptoms of being bipolar and having anxiety are controlled by my medication that I take every single day. Now, I'm a mom of 4 boys, and I just recently finished school, and I've been exhausted. So there are times that I have fallen asleep at night without taking my meds. And in the past, when I have done that, even 6 months ago, when I would do that, it would really throw me for a loop. The whole next week, I would feel depressed, or I would have a manic episode. Something just wasn't right. And I would be like, you know what, Sarah, you didn't take your meds twice last week. That's probably what's going on. And I was able to see it, but, just life happens, and I am not perfect. So, yes, I messed up on my meds. But now when that happens, I take CBD oil almost every night. I almost remember to take it more than my actual medication. But even if I didn't take it at night, I can still take it in that morning, where I couldn't do that with my other meds because they're for nighttime. But I would say 80% of my symptoms with bipolar and anxiety are controlled by my medication. And the other 20% is controlled by CBD oil. It has stabilized me. It has taken away almost all of my anxiety. And whatever anxiety is left, I have that therapy that I can... She's taught me these mechanisms and how to cope with how I feel. And so the CBD oil has really, really, really changed my life for a lot. Even comparing, I've only been doing it for 4 months now, And I can see, before I was taking my meds and I was starting therapy and I had my service dog, but that is completely different than how I am even now. And I know consistency is a key, and that's my other thing my fifth thing actually that really should be is consistency. So meds, my service dog, therapy, CBD, and just being consistent with it really has changed everything for me. So we actually will be moving out in a couple months, probably like 5 or 6 months, but it's still, I feel like with having these new techniques and these new things for me, I'm really able to go off into the world and feel successful, to feel independent. I'm a mom of 4 boys, and I kind of can't afford to mess up. I can't afford to not have my health under control. So over this last year, since I did my last videos, I've really been focusing on me. I was a teen mom. I dropped out of high school because I had 2 kids and I did not know how to provide for my kids. I didn't know how to go to school. I didn't know how to deal with the stress of everything that was going on with me. And I went back to school just recently to get my diploma, and that was so hard. I had a toddler wanting to do everything with me, wanting all of my attention, and I had 3 other kids that I had to take care of, all while trying to complete my high school diploma. And I honestly can say that if I wasn't consistent in my medication, if I wasn't consistent with the CBD oil, if I wasn't consistent in my therapy, and having the help of my service dog, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been able to complete that. So really, this video is to share about how successful you really can be. And I know not every situation is the same. There are some people that are just struggling to get on the right medication. They're struggling to get their anxiety under control. They've tried everything and it's not working. And for those people, I don't want you to give up. I want everybody to feel that there is a hope. I really do believe in that. And, that may come into my faith, where I just believe that we will never be alone. But for me, I really want to do, I can't just rely on my faith all alone and then not do these other 5 things that will get me going and get me successful. So I really wanted to talk about show you and just tell you how my life has been and how these key things have really changed my life. And I really want everybody else to be able to feel like it's okay. It's just a chemical imbalance. Some people are born with other disabilities that they have no control over, and it's frustrating. And I want it to be the same. I want it to be aware of, just because you can't see this disability, that it's not an actual disability. That's old. Like, that should not be thought of anymore. We should be moving into a new time where we are able to help each other, reach out, share about it, and just really be there for each other. So if anyone has any questions, I just really wanted to share how, this has helped me, and for other people who may not feel like they can get their life under control, I really think that with the right things and the right help and reaching out and, of course, all of these steps that I've done, it's possible, and I don't want anyone to lose hope. So I just want this to be a normal thing to talk about. And if anyone has any questions for me, if anyone, has maybe started these feelings and they're not sure if, is something going on with me, please reach out or talk to somebody, because being alone during something like this is just, it's so lonely. I've been there before. I've not reached out. I've not had anyone to talk to. I still don't know many people that are bipolar. So connecting with everybody and sharing about it, I feel like shouldn't be looked at as something weird or something abnormal. There are so many people with mental disabilities, and it's just life. So if you guys have any questions or want to see some more videos, please let me know. I just really felt the need, it was laying on my heart to just share my success story and where things are going, and that I'm not stopped. Like, this is still continual process in my life, and just that most people can do it. It's, life is rough, but if we stick together and we help each other out and, we share our life and what works for us, more people can come together and we can get the help that we need. So I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.